Hello and welcome back to Women's Football Talk, the YouTube channel that brings you all the latest news and stories from around the world of women's football. Now before we get into today's video, make sure you hit that subscribe button and follow us on Twitter so you never miss a video of ours. And this video is a recap of the transfer window here in England of all the deals that went down in the WSL. So we're going to run through all the clubs and tell you about everything that happened over this past month as the January transfer window closed on Thursday the 27th of January, so no more deals can be done. So, Arsenal, well, they bought in 3 players this window. They bought in striker Stina Blackstenius, who had recently been at BK Häcken, but decided against renewing her contract. She was the first signing in, and then they made 2 more signings again within the space of the same week. They bought in Laura Wienreuter of Hoffenheim, a young defender who can play at fullback, so is definitely one for the future. And then they brought in Rafael Souza, a Brazilian defender, again a lot of experience, so some really good buys there from Arsenal. In terms of outgoings, only one permanent outgoing, which was Malin Gut, who has now left the club and returned back to Switzerland to join Grasshoppers, and the rest of the players that have gone out on loan are on loan, with a couple being dual loan registration, so basically they can play for both their Arsenal Academy and then the club that they're on loan at. So the players out on loan are Anna Patton, Victoria Schneiderbach, Daisy Ackerman, Taya Goldie, Halle Hussein and Natalia Negri, all gone out on loan. So not bad business for Arsenal, and definitely a good window to say a strong 8 or 9 out of 10 as they look to progress and maintain their top spot in the WSL. Then we go to Aston Villa. They bought in 3 players. Rachel Coursey from the KC Current, excellent buy for Aston Villa. Gemma Davidson's side bringing in the Scottish international, very good piece of business there. And then they bought in the loans of Anna Patton and Jill Scott, 2 very good players to bring in Aston Villa as they look to move further up the table. Then players that have left the club are Gemma Davison and Emily Syme, who mutually agreed for their contracts to end at Aston Villa. And then they've got rid of Missy Goodwin to Leicester City, Freya Gregory, Natalie Haig and Alicia Endow all out on loan. So very decent piece of business from Aston Villa this January transfer window. I will give them a strong 7 out of 10. Now Birmingham City, they didn't do any business in or out, so no pieces of news to talk about with Birmingham City, which is very disappointing considering they are right in there with the relegation scrap. Now to Brighton and Hove Albion, they bought in 2 Swedish internationals in Emma Kullberg and Julia Zijotti Olme. Again, 2 very good players and have started to settle in quite well under Hope Hull side, and yeah, strong players for the future, and I'll give their Brighton signings a 7 out of 10. And then they've loaned out Josie Longhurst and Leah Cordier, both loaned to Lewis in the lower leagues. Chelsea, only 1 player in, and that is Russian fullback Alsu Abdelina. She's played a couple of times now for Emma Hayes, and I think over the rest of the season we'll see her more integrated into the starting 11. And 2 players that have left: Carly Telford, 1 permanent leave, she has joined San Diego Wave in the NWSL, and Georgia Fox has left on loan to the Championship. So not a bad business for Chelsea. Again, not really much they needed to do this window, so can't complain there. Everton under Jean-Luc Vasseur, they brought in no one, which was quite surprising considering obviously this was his first transfer window at the club after coming in mid-season after Willie Kurt left the club, and they've loaned out Cecilia Ronnersdottir to Bayern Munich. Now to Leicester City, they've bought in Missy Goodwin. Now that was initially understood to be on a dual loan agreement, but there's some confusion as to what that deal has actually gone down as, and they bought in Freya Gregory in on loan, both from Aston Villa, and they have loaned out Abby Grant as well. Now to Manchester City, they've bought in Julie Blackstad, a young player from Rosenborg in Norway. Again, it's a very good player there, and nothing too distressing because their main objective this year is getting players back to full fitness, the likes of Ellie Roebuck, Steph Horton, Lucy Bronze, Chloe Kelly, Esme Morgan in the coming months. So that was Gareth Taylor's main plan there, and then they've loaned out both Jill Scott and Maria Francis Jones, the latter being on a dual registration there. Manchester United, they left it late to do any deals. All 3 deals on players being bought in made on deadline day. They bought in Diane Caldwell, Jade Moore, and they have signed Signe Bruun on loan for the remainder of the season from Lyon, which is an excellent coup for Mark Skinner's side, and they didn't let anyone out on loan. But yeah, that Man United 3 signings on deadline day, absolutely brilliant signings there. Reading, they brought in just 1 player in Sane Trollesgaard Nielsen. Done quite well so far for Kelly Chambers' side, so really impressed with her so far, and they have got rid of Gay Uljon. Tottenham Hotspur next, they have signed 1 permanent player in Evelina Summerman, and they loaned in Victoria Schneiderbeck from Arsenal. 2 very good signings for Rhian Skinner's side as they look to push up and potentially nick that 3rd Champions League spot. And then they have loaned out Morgan Rogers and Eleanor Heaps. And then finally, West Ham United, they have signed Emma Snurler and brought in on loan Hayley Hussein and Emily Moore, and have got rid of no one. So they are some good businesses done by the latter 2 teams, and it's a very good window. And let's see how these teams can fare out for the second half of this WL season, as teams look to fight for places where it's the title, the Champions League spaces, and trying to fight off relegation. Right, we'll be back at the start of next week to round up the action. There isn't much going on this weekend. We have a few league games going on across the world, and here in England it is FA Cup weekend. But like I said at the start, make sure you are subscribed to the channel with post notification bells turned on so you never miss a post of ours, and follow us on Twitter as well for all the latest news and stories from around the world of women's football. And until next time, we'll see you soon.